This is a Sports Catastrophe production. Hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Drummond welcoming you to another Sports Catastrophe on this day. And on this day, May the 19th, 14 years ago, one of the best conference finals in terms of rivalries ended. Yes, the Eastern Final in 2007 ended. And yes, it doesn't entail the Ottawa Senators. And yes, I know that I really hate the fuck out of those guys. So anyway, the Ottawa Senators in 2007 were not that bad. They were a decent team and all that. Fourth best in the Eastern Conference. Well, not by points, but by position, because everyone knows Atlanta basically got in as the 3 seed in the playoffs because they won the division. So yeah, Ottawa had 105 points. Not bad, but Buffalo won the Northeast Division with the most, with 113 points. They were the President's Trophy winners. Well, anyway, the Thrashers had only 97 measly points. That would have put them fifth in any year, but because they won the Southeast, they got in. So Ottawa would have to face the Pittsburgh Penguins in a tight battle. Now, the Western playoffs had Detroit, Anaheim, and Vancouver, all 1, 2, 3. The 1, 2, 3 seeds win their matches, while San Jose as number 5 took care of Nashville, who rarely won a playoff series at that time. Anaheim would take out Vancouver in 5 games in the conference semis. Detroit would do the same, would take San Jose on in 6. Anaheim would take down the Red Wings in 6 games to go to the Stanley Cup Finals and face said Ottawa Senators team. So anyway, the Eastern quarters had this big. Buffalo were the President's Trophy winners and all that. They would take on the New York Islanders, who surprisingly took the 8th and final spot in 2007 on a shootout win over the Devils, which screwed the Leafs over. But in hindsight, that was the best move as the Sabres took care of the Islanders in 5 games. The 2 seed Devils took care of Tampa, even though Tampa had a 2-1 series lead. Atlanta were the Southeast champions and all that. And unfortunately, the Thrashers didn't play like division champs. I guess that's the product of being in a weak division. They scored not 1, but 6 goals in 4 games against New York and Henrik Lundqvist. So this was amazing that the Thrashers sucked. The last Atlanta-based team to make the playoffs were the Atlanta Flames. And guess who they faced in 1980? The New York Rangers. That's right. It was weird how the last 2 playoff series involving Atlanta dealt with the New York Rangers, both for the Flames and the Thrashers. The Rangers narrowly won 4-3 in Game 1. Atlanta actually kept it close, in a sense, with goals by Belanger, Knighty, and Dupuis. But after that, they were just crushed. Game 3 was a massive crush. 7-0, they lost. But on to Ottawa. Ottawa took on the Pittsburgh Penguins, and it was supposed to be a tight series. They both had 105 points, but because Ottawa had more total wins, Ottawa was given the 4 seed. So basically, this was Sidney Crosby's debut in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And the Sens had no mercy to do with the Penguins. Penguins won Game 2 in Ottawa, but other than that, Ottawa swept them aside. Marc-Andre Fleury was not his normal self, and Ray Emery was. So in the conference semifinals, the 1 seed Sabres had a tough time with the Rangers. Rangers won in double overtime in Game 3 and won Game 4. So the series was tied at 2. But thanks to Maxim Afinogenov's overtime goal, and the fact that Chris Drury scored a tying goal with 8 seconds left, the Sabres won Game 5. And then Game 6, it was close. The Rangers made it close, but the Sabres had it. Meanwhile, the Senators would almost certainly be knocked down by the New Jersey Devils. I mean, after all, it is the New Jersey Devils, and Martin Brodeur was still around. Well, I don't know. So anyway, New Jersey looked good and all that, but the Senators didn't believe the hype and took care of the Devils in 5 games. Yeah, they lost in double overtime in Game 2, but other than that, they had the Devils at bay. They scored 3 one-goal wins and all that. Ray Emery shut them down in Game 3. The Sens scored late. And, Ottawa unofficially closed down Continental Airlines Arena in New Jersey because that's the last game the Devils played at that arena before moving to the Prudential Center. So now it's the conference finals between the Sabres and the Sens. This is the 4th time they met in the playoffs. Buffalo is 3-0 in playoff series against these Senators. 97 they met when the Sens finally made the playoffs. And that was a Game 7 goal by Derek Plante. 99, Buffalo took care of the Sens in a sweep. And in 2006, the Sabres took care of the Senators in 5 games. All that. Ottawa and Buffalo both really had bad conference final spots. Ottawa was looking for their first Stanley Cup appearance in modern Senators history, and the Sabres were looking for their first Stanley Cup run in 8 years. Ottawa crushed Buffalo in the fine powder 5-2 in Buffalo, of all places. And then they won Game 2 on a double overtime goal by Joe Corville. Ray Emery out-dueled Ryan Miller, and Ottawa won Game 3. So they had an insurmountable 3-0 series lead. However, Buffalo won Game 4. But Game 5 is huge, as the Senators and Sabres would face each other on the Saturday afternoon game. It was on NBC, that's why it was in the afternoon. They could have had it on Saturday night, but no, they couldn't. So anyway, the Senators had goals in regulation by Danny Heatley and Jason Spezza. Buffalo had Johan Hack and Maxim Vinogradov put up goals. Thinking, well, the Senators look good. And then you got yourself to look, if you're on NBC, it's like, okay, that's fine. And then all of a sudden they said, oh, we have to switch the game from NBC to NBC Sportsnet or whatever, because of the fact that the Ottawa Senator, because we have the Preakness coming up, the second jewel in the Triple Crown. I mean, you gotta love horse racing, but now that you gotta switch everyone over to a secondary channel just because of horse racing, really? Sabre fans were pissed. Obviously so. But thankfully, though, CBC had Canadians covered. After all, I mean, CBC doesn't do NBC simulcasts. I know TSN did, but, CBC never did. So, CBC fans got to see Daniel Alfredson put in a massive overtime goal to send the Ottawa Senators to the second round of the playoffs. To the Stanley Cup Finals, I meant. Taking care of Buffalo. Sabre fans must have been pissed. I mean, they were down 3-0, so it was inevitable. But anyway, the Senators were pissed off. Rightfully so. At the fact that they lost the Stanley Cup Final to the Anaheim Ducks in 5 games. But it was Tibu's time to shine. So what can you say? NBC kind of did apologize for it, but basically it fell in deaf ears. I mean, Sabre fans were pissed off. I mean, who else was watching the Sabres game if you weren't from the East Coast? Didn't matter. So anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day.